Guys, there is an epidemic happening right now, and if you are anything like me, you used to listen to a lot of hyperpop in the late 2010s and early 2020s, and now you realize you don't listen to nearly as much. And at the time, I just remember the genre feeling so big, like it was going to continue growing in both popularity and in quantity. But now it seems what was once a vibrant oasis of a genre is a barren desert where the population continues to shrink. Many of the bigger artists in the field have went other ways with their sounds and styles, and I think listeners might have done the same. Charlie XCX and Rina Sawayama have started making more mainstream pop, Stranger Things star Glaive is making bedroom pop, and the PC music label is ceasing production this year. But today's video is not about those previously mentioned. It's about Jane Remover, who I think demonstrates just how much the artists who were at the forefront of the hyperpop genre have evolved so far. To think that in just 2 years, Jane Remover went from Teen Week to Census Designated blows my mind, and with Census Designated, I think she shows that she is one of the most versatile yet consistent artists to emerge from the hyperpop scene. To start off with, Teen Week is a short 4-track EP that was really the first major breakout for Jane. The song is very much a representation of hyperpop in 2021, with its EDM-inspired synth leads, breakcore drums, frequent vocal manipulation, and lines like "you get excluded like a private BC." It is a short project, but it is very important for understanding what would follow from Jane, and honestly, all of the songs are pretty good. The angsty, existential lyrics and distorted flat vocals would follow into her next record, Frailty, the more stripped-back, guitar-led track 17 almost serving as a teaser for what was to come. Meanwhile, the EDM-inspired production that I mentioned earlier would come back in a big way. However, this time, it would be under a different name, and that name is Leroy. Under this new pseudonym, she would release 3 mixtapes, all called Dariacore. Now, I really don't know the lore behind all these projects, but what I do know is they fucking slap, and if I had to put a label to them, I would call them shitpost EDM. It is just one very fun, very silly, and unashamed banger after another. It's amazing how they can pull together all of these random and somewhat opposing songs and niche references to create some of the most exciting music I've listened to in my life. And I highly recommend you go on SoundCloud and check them out. So not only was Jane able to create a pretty good hyperpop EP, she's also proved that she can make a solid DJ set. But this is really just the beginning of her showing off just how versatile she is. Frailty was the project that got me into Jane Remover and made me so eager for a follow-up. In my opinion, it was the first hyperpop album by the SoundCloud generation that was long, versatile, and fully fleshed out. There are just no good comparisons in my mind. It doesn't feel like a hyperpop album, and it certainly is much more than that. There's so much emotion, so many innovative thoughts, and just good songwriting from start to finish on the album. It really covers a lot of the lyrical and musical bases when it comes to hyperpop digicore and just being a chronically online teenager during the pandemic. Family troubles on Goldfish, attachment and obsession issues on Your Clothes and Let's Go Home, dealing with depression and anxiety on Pretender, the alienation on Movies for Guys, and the list goes on. Besides for the wide range of lyrical topics, the production is also incredibly varied. Some songs are reminiscent of 2000s pop punk, some songs remind me of Porter Robinson, and some songs remind me of OSTs for DS games. It's one of the only albums from this era of hyperpop that I continue to come back to years later. However, Frailty could never have prepared me for the slow burn masterpiece of Census Designated. Though singles like Lips or Contingency Song could have hinted at the post-rock sound that Jane would put forth on this record, I couldn't have guessed based on how varied their projects have been in the past. It is hard to draw comparisons between Census Designated and any of Jane's other records. From the very first moments of Cage Girl / Cam Girl, the album forces you to meet it on its own terms. There will be no overly pitched up or distorted vocals. There will be no EDM leads, and there will be no hyperpop. You will consume your shoegaze revivalism, and you will enjoy it. Every song is about 5 minutes or longer, and it really makes the most of its runtime. Most songs start slow, starting with one element over another, slowly unfolding and ending in an explosive chorus. The hooks are probably my favorite part of this project, as well as the slower, drawn-out structure of each that fits really well with the shoegaze aesthetic. It's just so easy to lose yourself in the hypnotic refrains of Cage Girl / Cam Girl, Backseat Girl, Census Designated, and Video. She's able to fit so many acidic, melancholic hooks into the songs on the project, which gives them the feel of being multiple songs a part of one bigger song. These hooks are no longer the rampant, angsty, jittering thoughts of adolescence, but the lonely malaise of young adulthood. Somehow, despite changing her sound greatly since her last album, it's everything that I could have wanted, and it makes me excited to see where she goes next. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. I've been wanting to talk about this album for a long time because it really fascinates me how much hyperpop has almost disappeared, even though I thought it was going to be such a big genre just a couple of years ago. If you guys like this video, please like, subscribe, and comment because, I'm really interested by this topic and I'd like to explore it more deeply. So if you guys have any other thoughts about hyperpop artists who have really changed in the last couple of years, you can comment down below and maybe I'll make a video on them. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.